happy it worked out for you. What was it like? How do you even discover animation on YouTube? Because it took me a while to do that. I think Swoozy was the first like animation YouTuber that I bumped into, and then like through him, you see the suggested videos, and then you kind of like filter in and you get deeper and deeper into the community. Was there anyone that caught your eye? Was there a video or like something that you saw?
Yeah, it was actually, I went back to Jamaica to visit my family, and my little brother by this time is like maybe like 7 or 8. And he was watching this one dude named The Odd Ones Out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Who's like he's like the biggest channel now in that space. And that was my first time seeing it. And you know what? I had watched Swoozy when I was younger, but I completely forgot about it. Like I completely forgot about that content. I saw him like during his like, he had like a series on like Star Wars or Back to the Future themed. Anyway, so it was really The Odd Ones Out I saw, and I was like, oh, I think I could do that. You know, like, and so I started messing around with it. I made like a video just playing around, like, oh, that was kind of fun. Then I made a second one. I was like, oh wow, no, this is fun, and I think I'm good at this. And really what sold me on it was like when I would make vlogs, like I was experimenting with YouTube a lot. I made vlogs, all kinds of videos. The only people who would ever see him and comment were like my friends, you feel me? And it was like getting like, you know, like 23 views, you know what I'm saying? And then
it's on the same channel or a separate channel?
Yeah, you know, because you just keep changing the content when when you haven't figured it out, you know? And then when I started uploading animations for the first time, random people, like people I didn't know, were commenting and like saying, oh wow, this is really cool. And I was like, is this someone I know? Yeah. And then I realized, I think I even replied to one. I was like, do I know you? And he's like, nah, bro, I just found your video. It was good. I was like, whoa. And then it cracked like 100 views. And I was like, what is going on? Yeah. And so I was like, that's really what got me hooked. And then I made a third one. I was like, yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it to win.
How are you animating at this point? Like the technical standpoint, like software, like how are you actually doing that?
So yeah, I'm using like a bamboo like tablet that I got from Best Buy for like $40. You can't, like, there's no screen. Like it's just like a tablet you draw on and you look at the screen as you're drawing. And I'm drawing everything in Photoshop, editing it in Premiere Pro. And that's how I did it for a while. Eventually I upgraded to a tablet like with a screen, but I continued to do the Photoshop Premiere Pro combo for like the first 3.5 years. Damn. It wasn't until like, because like I was so intimidated by the actual animation software, and I gotten so comfortable in the Premiere Pro street, like that's. But then eventually, like 1 month, I was like, I'm going to take this month off and I'm just going to learn how to use the animation software. And then it was like, it only took me like 2 weeks to get a hang of it. It's like, I should have did this like 2 years ago. That's
like me with thumbnails. I made them on After Effects for way too long. I don't know why. I did VFX, so I was comfortable in After Effects, and I didn't want to learn Photoshop. I never switched over. How long was
never went to Photoshop?
I still use After Effects.
That's crazy.
I still use GIMP. I don't use Photoshop.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it's kind of like the same reason. Yeah. Like every single time I be on there and people sitting there saying like they'll show ways that you can like crop out the background like instantaneously, I'm like, yeah, I should probably learn. I should probably learn that. But I'll just find different ways to just fucking do it besides actually doing it. So when you're doing that, like you're doing that like frame by frame. I always understand, like, so you're drawing one frame and then drawing another and another and another, and you
so like you copy and paste all those, like for instance, like over a course of 5 seconds, right, the character will be still for like maybe 4 of that, you know, and there's just one movement, or like, you know, so you're just duplicating frames until you need to have a movement, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you draw the character once, you duplicate the frames, and then when the character moves, then you're drawing again, but you're going to try and retain as many of the elements from the previous frame as possible, only moving the components that need to be moved.
But if a nigga is walking and he's like moving his feet, you have to draw each time he moves his feet and then place it down.
So like you can do a walk cycle, a clean walk cycle with only like 5 drawings. So 5. So you'll just draw each position, and then it's all about timing, how you space out the frames. And the more frames, the in-betweens they call them, you know, getting technical, but yeah, the more of those in between frames, so go from like 5 to like maybe 9, the smoother the animation looks. So like Disney stuff, like every 2 frames is a new drawing. You feel me? But like my stuff, is much simpler, much like, more like indie. And so I can get away with like.
But how long did it take though? Like if it was like a 7-minute video, how long would it take you to like
a 7-minute video?
7 or fine, five.
5 minutes.
No, like, okay, so like 7 is actually a pretty good number because that's like an average length for me. And boss, but like for a 7 oh yuck, I don't like that. All right, so like for a 7-minute video though,
you were animating for 7 minutes every week?
Yeah.
No, for a 7-minute video.
I know.
Yeah. So like, yeah, about a week. It take you about a week, 6 to 8 hours a day.
No way. See, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking in my mind like it would have to take you hours to fucking edit like 1 or 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Just to get the like 7-minute shit situated.
Yeah.
That's fucking absurd.
Yeah.
Damn,
like
man.
I'll stream me animated now, and when I do that, I'll be on stream for like 5, 6, 7 hours, and then would have gone like 40 seconds of timeline done.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So you be upset when niggas be like, nigga, you need to upload more, bro. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in Swoozie comments, they be like, yo, nigga, why you uploading more? Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, bro, he's animating this shit by hand. What the fuck y'all talking about, bro?
Not only that, but like you're telling stories. So you kind of had to live a life so you have stories to tell.
Right.
So if you're always animating, you're going to run out of stories eventually.
Now you go outside to live life, to tell a story, and then you got to go back like, oh man, this is a perfect story. It's a perfect story to animate to.
That's the thing though. The story needs to marinate a lot of times.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes the best stories you can't tell right away.
You got to say
because they usually hurt you. Some went like no one wants to hear the story of the time you bagged a baddie and brought her home and she gave you top. Like, you know what I'm saying? No one wants to hear that story.
That is absurd.
Well, yeah,
animating her giving you top is crazy.
Yeah, no, but like that, no one wants to hear that. Like, okay, bro, you're so cool. You know what I mean? People want to hear about the time you try to shoot your shot and you got curved horribly in front of all your friends.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
That's what they want to hear.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so like, but that story, it needs to marinate because it's too raw. It's too tender when it just happened. You're like, I don't want nobody to know this happened.
So then you kind of like
That's great. Imagine getting rejected and spending the next week
the next day. So check it out. I was at the mall, right?
Hey, you gotta relive that shit for a whole week animating that shit. Is crazy.
So you tell stories about like your losses then.
Oh yeah, those are the best stories. The losses, mistakes, and the best ones are the ones where there's still a triumph at the end. Like you got some kind of victory, whether even if it's something small as you learned something, or if you manage to like turn that like I had this one story of like this girl ghosted me, and then I went full like just like I'm just gonna work hard. I'm gonna put this into the gym and into animating and and that it was actually like like I hadn't blown up at that point. You feel me? So it was like this girl that I had met, and then it was a tragic story. Like at first she was like super into it. We're like having a good time, but at that point had very like little like very little understanding of female psychology. So it's like, wow, like this girl seems to really like me and I really like her. And so like, you're just an open book of how much you like her and you're enjoying your time together. Classic, ways to kill interest in a girl is for her to feel like, oh, this dude's like too into me. You feel me? And then so like out of nowhere, like, which is what ghosting is, right? Out of nowhere, she just stops responding. And then like, at first, again, just didn't even really understand what was going on because like literally 2 days ago, she was like over at the house and we were having a good time together. You feel me? And so that turned into like, I just like, I'm not going to talk to any girls or anything. I'm going to go crazy in the gym. I'm going to put even more energy into animating. And then I maintained that pace for 3 months. And it was in that 3 months, I went from like 3,000 subscribers to 300,000.
God, geez.
Yeah. And so it was like, it kind of was like, so even though I didn't get the girl at the end, I got something way better. You know what I mean? And so, and then over time, you figure out, you can figure out the girl thing whenever. But like gaining success when you're young, that's something that's like changes the direction of your life forever. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's like a